Good evening, everyone. This is Deidre with Are You a CPS Victim Like Me? I have my two co hosts along with me again tonight for what they call their field trip, Tiffany and Darren, otherwise known as the Punisher. And we have another repeat of our guest from last week and the week before because she has some updates that she wants to talk about her case and also use this time to hopefully have Tiffany and Darren maybe give some more guidance and advice to her considering she has her next court date now just a month away from
Oh man.
now, I guess I should say. So, for anybody that's just tuning in to our show for maybe the first time or didn't watch the last two shows of mine, again, I do this show every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Pacific time. I am a mother that has been through a CPS case of my own in the past, and I continue to do these shows under the attorney, the platform of the attorney here that I do my show, which is Vincent W. Davis. He practices out of Southern California. And I do this for the sense of, still fighting for my kids and all the other kids out there that hopefully maybe will reach one of these videos and get the knowledge that they need to fight this system before it fights them, if that makes sense. So if you ever want to be a guest on any of my upcoming shows, you can call into the number that's listed on the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, the 888 number, and my producer will get you scheduled, and then you can come on and share your story of how you've been a victim of CPS or any association with CPS as a whole. Darren, maybe you want to mute yourself right now because I'm getting a lot
Yeah,
of
sure.
feedback. Okay,
Sure.
cool.
Hit that microphone button.
So again, our guest this evening was on my show last week for the second part, half of it, and then was on another one of our host shows, Bob Pace. But just real quick, she can fill in any gaps that I might leave out. But she is obviously going through a case where she was living in Florida and, had kids with the father of her kids. And then, something didn't work out to her favor in that instance. And the wife of the previous set of kids that he had before he had kids with her decided to come back into their life and cause a ruckus. So she decided that it would be best to take her kids out of that situation and move to Oklahoma. And of course, as we all know, retaliation then comes aboard, and father doesn't like the fact that, she was able to move on without him and live successfully. And so that's when all the retaliation tactics come a hand and calls to CPS and false allegations, and none of them were said to be founded until apparently the wife decides to send in a recording of an argument that the two of them had. Granted, it wasn't towards the kids or with the kids, but because I guess the kids were maybe in the house, that's where they said the abuse came in and they removed her kids. So fast forward a little bit, they decided to coerce her into signing a safety plan like we usually all are and don't know what it really entails. And then, tell her that she needs to go to a rehab place back in Florida where her kids are still in Oklahoma. So again, a lot of us know that that's another tactic they try to use with having some time go by and maybe throw an abandonment charge and then hopefully, terminate your rights that way. But either way, it's all corrupt and it's all horrible. And she's here now to, again, fill in any gaps where I left out, but mainly to see what maybe hopefully Tiffany or Darren can do moving forward, knowing that her next court date is only a month away. And maybe now you can fill in, Gabriella, about what exactly happened on Monday and what they're telling you to do and so forth. So go ahead, Gabriella.
Okay, so went to court and DHS gave a good report about me, read my letter that came from my mom group that I'm attached to, and said that the visits have been going well, but my kids' attorney was attacking me from the get-go. She thinks I'm being secretive. She can't confirm anything. Just really basically trying to undermine everything that DHS is saying good about me, which, mind you, is the first time ever. So the judge really didn't have anything to say much, as she was surprised she's getting a good report, keep up the good work. And that's when all started. My baby daddy's attorney left, withdrew from his counsel because I guess apparently he don't need an attorney anymore. And my attorney asked for more time with my kids and that was a no-go. He literally just stood in the corner of the courtroom looking pathetic. And so I didn't want to cause a scene because I was looking good for the moment. So I wanted to keep that. But it
Good job.
it is ridiculous. Like, it's ridiculous.
Well,
So
they were telling me earlier that they basically told her that she needed to do 2 more kind of classes per se, and that they want her to come back in a month.
And the hair follicle.
So let me ask you, safety plans are only good for 30 days. Did they renew your safety plan after 30 days, or did you get a court order in between those 30 days?
Like my ISP?
Every 30 days, unless there's a court order, you are supposed to, or CPS is supposed to renew a
Safety plan.
well, that's not the word I was going to use.
Contract.
Plea agreement, but they can't keep moving the goal. Do you see what I'm saying? They can't keep adding stuff. If you're doing good, I want to know, I'm more interested in what the guardian ad litem had to say about you.
Oh, I got the recording. I don't know if y'all can hear it. I'm going to fast forward it. It was only 20 minutes long, the whole court hearing. I don't know. Can y'all hear it?
No, just give me the gist of what she said.
Anyways, she feels like I need all of my visits taken away from me.
Why?
She's not. Why? Because it's a bias thing, I'm pretty sure, because I've never even spoke to the woman, you know what I mean? And her being my kid's attorney, you would think that we would have some sort of relationship from the get-go. Well, come to find out, she used to be the assistant district attorney in that county years ago.
But okay, so did she talk to you first or the father?
Me. What do you mean? In general?
But see, they did an ICPC for the kids to hopefully get placed with the father, she told me today, Gabriella.
Yeah, that's been ordered for the dad, and it's been approved.
But see, Tiffany, low key, Gabriella left out a big chunk of the story, and she told me today, she's living back with the father. And I told her, you can't be living with the father if
don't say that live. What are you doing? Don't say that live.
I just realized I did that. Yeah, maybe I should have said that off here. Well, you're living in the same city. I'm sorry. The city is what I meant to say, you know, and they're going to attack you and say that you probably guys are living together.
We are co-parenting. Like you should be doing. It shouldn't be a fight continuously. You know what I mean? Because I was raised up in a huge broken home where my parents used us kids as bait when we went to the next parent's house. And I'm telling you, it really screwed with me and my siblings. So the fact that me and him could cordially co-parent, cool.
Okay, so what did the judge say when the guardian ad litem said all of this?
What did she say? Really nothing, right? Yeah, she didn't really say much. She just acknowledged it, and then she asked.
But didn't you say you still don't have any allegations against you?
I have no charges.
Didn't you still say? So how could they still even be keeping her kids? How are they still in CPS's custody?
I thought they were kidnapping them this whole time and trafficking them. And
well, they're
not supposed to give you a warrant when they remove your children?
Yes, of course.
No, the United States Supreme Court said a child cannot be removed unless there's intimate or exigent circumstances.
No, yeah.
Yeah,
that is the only way.
What they did. They said that they were in imminent danger or harm.
What was the imminent danger? Because the definition is not what they're saying. Because I'm going to give you the definition, but go ahead. What was the imminent danger?
Hold on, I'm going to read you my ISP. Gabrielle left dad and took the children from Florida and went to Oklahoma. 2023. Oklahoma DHS received audio recording, which is mom verbally abusing the children by cursing them out and stating, "I'm going to kill these kids," among other things. At time of referral, dad was in Oklahoma visiting the children. Dad lives in Florida. Dad returned to Florida. Dad called the police on Saturday, 5/11, and police told dad to call CPS. They came and did a welfare check. And the cop literally laughed at my doorstep and said, "I'm wasting my time being here." And I'm like, "Well, why are you here?" And he said, "Because your kids are malnourished." And he said, "And I can tell you just the look of your kids, they're not malnourished."
Okay.
You know what I mean? And he goes,
care about that.
"I think I know what this
I care about that." They lied because imminent and exigent circumstances mean life, death, or limb at that very moment. That's what the law says.
Mm-hmm.
Not because you threatened them, which I don't believe that you did, honestly. I mean, you might have threatened the mother of the other children.
And at this time, I was going through postpartum. Postpartum is a real thing. So real, dude.
Yeah, and you're right.
I tried bettering myself.
And you took the kids and moved to a different state. So you would think that would have looked good on you.
But it didn't.
And they still came and took the kids from her from the other state.
Well, that's because if she was not there for 6 months.
No, what I'm saying is, remember the whole recording that wife had of her arguing or whatever happened in Florida. So she decided, you know what, this isn't going to work out because she's not going to leave. So I'm going to take my 3 kids and move to Oklahoma and live with my mom. They still came and followed her to Oklahoma and removed the kids from her. Get it?
Well, I'm telling you why. Because Florida still had jurisdiction over these kids until mom and the kids were there for 6 months.
I see what you're saying. Oh, okay, yeah.
And not only
at
that,
the time of removal, they were not there for 6 months.
Right. I know.
That's what she's trying to say. So Florida still had control over the kids.
December to January, February to March to April to May. Yeah, they were there 8 months.
Well, wait, if it was 8 months, then Oklahoma should have been taking over jurisdiction, right? So technically they took the kids when they shouldn't have been able to. I know, but if it's after 6 months, Tiffany's trying to say they shouldn't have had jurisdiction then still over your kids because you had already lived now in Oklahoma for more than 6 months. So really, they had no right to take your kids altogether. No warrant, and now technically no jurisdiction over them anymore. Wow. So that should be able to throw her piece out.
Jurisdiction over them. And really, I have jurisdiction over them because I don't, what was it? Damn it. I have it written down. The law where it states your kid is your property.
Oh yeah, that's all Constitution. That's all your constitutional.
Your property.
I'm American.
Listen. I'm telling you right now, your children are not your property. A dog is your property. You pay taxes on dogs and cats.
There's some sort of statute and a law and within the Constitution that states your kids are under your jurisdiction.
Listen to me.
Hold on, Gabriella. I know what you're trying to say, but Tiffany will clarify it because Mr. Obsidian was saying it in the right. You know what I mean?
Okay,
I get it. But your children are not your property. Okay, people get that confused. What your children are your offspring. Okay, You pay taxes on property, and actually, if you really want to go way back when, parents used to not have rights. You know who held the rights? It was the children that held the rights because the parent was supposed to cater to the child, and then it got flipped around to where if the parents have to cater to the children, then the parents have to hold the rights of the children, not the children holding the rights. So that's actually how it is. Your children also have an inherited right under the Bill of Rights to have a relationship with you. The Bill of Rights is actually a restraining order against the federal government and the state and local government. Children are not
so
property.
wait.
How do I start filing federally?
Walk your happy
as
little
far-
behind over to the courthouse. That's how you do it.
How do I?
But don't
what do
forget,
I-
filing lawsuits.
What do I do?
Filing lawsuits do not necessarily win your children back. You have to keep that in mind.
I understand.
You know that, right? Okay.
I'm going to do both at the same time.
But do that after you get your kids back. Focus on getting your kids back first, is what I'm trying to say.
Correct.
But listen, you can actually file a federal constitutional complaint. They violated your Fourth Amendment right? And they seized your children without a warrant, without probable cause. You have also a 14th Amendment violation because before anything can be taken from you, you have to go to court. They have to get a removal order, period.
Oh, they did that after my kids were. So this is how it happened. They coerced me into a safety plan on a Friday. So I had a safety monitor Friday, Saturday. She left Saturday in the middle of the night. I woke up Sunday morning. She was gone. So Monday came around. I called my caseworker on my way to work and told her, hey, this is what happened. And she said, I'm in court. I'll call you back. She called my entire family, my mom, my grandmother, my older sister, all of them. And they came up with a plan to remove my children from me. And so they were like, oh, hey, your kids are going to go to your brother and your sister-in-law. And they were there for a month.
Do you know what that's called?
Kidnapping.
That's called conspiracy. No, that's called conspiracy. If two or more people conspire against you and your rights, that is conspiracy under federal law.
I understand that. I've been trying to say that this whole time. I've
but
had
you
so
can't
much
just say
violated from me, and I am a blood-born American. I was born on a military base. I'm America, okay? And they're just doing away with my
okay, rights. So do this. Write this down. uscourts.gov.
Yep.
When you go to that website, there's going to be them little three equal signs at the top.
Yep.
I don't know what they're called. Click on
three lines. I like she said equal signs. The menu.
Oh yeah, well the menu. Go to form. Then you're going to go to civil forms, and you're going to look for go ahead, uscourts.gov.
Yep. I'm on there.
The menu, as Deidre says, the menu.
Scroll to where it says form. And then scroll to where it says civil form. And then I don't know the rest.
Okay.
Then you're going to file constitutional complaint.
Okay.
Hold on. Or it might say civil complaint.
Complaint for a civil case.
There you go.
Yep.
And there should be instructions on how to fill it out. Now, they don't care about your case. You're going to see, they're going to say, do not write your case in here. They want to know what rights were violated, when, where, and all that. That's all you put on there.
Yeah.
Check jury. Check jury and oral arguments, because you want to go in there because you don't want to just be a little docket number. You actually want them to see your face.
Okay.
And file it. There's also a form on there. If you don't have the $400 to file, you can file as indigent, and you will probably get your case in the federal court. But you have to stick to the facts, constitutional facts. the things that they violated. Sorry, Deidre.
The 4th Amendment, 14th Amendment, you know what I mean, due process.
Well, it's actually the 4th, the 5th, and the 14th.
Okay. What about my
Okay, but what is she what is she supposed to do between now and her next court date? They said that she has to do these 2 other classes, and you just mentioned right now they want you to do a hair follicle test now too?
And a nail bed.
And a what?
Hey, wait, what?
And a nail bed.
What the hell is that?
I still don't know what you're saying.
Your fingernails can't tell you if you're on drugs.
And that's not constitutional, Mr. Davis has said, right? A hair follicle test is not constitutional. No.
Did the judge
you didn't even have drugs in. Yeah, no.
The judge ordered that?
Your attorney should have objected to it. Because if he didn't, now you have to do it, I heard.
You do have
your
to do it.
Your attorney could have. Because, yeah. Your attorney could have objected that, and you wouldn't have had to do it. But because he didn't, and now the judge has ordered it, now you're stuck with doing it.
Can I not appeal
and now
it?
they're going to... It will take too long before your next court. She said, could she appeal it?
You only have 10 days, and if you appeal it, they're just going to push getting your kids back longer. And thank God that I was wrong. Remember, I said, I hope I'm wrong.
I know
that
you were so wrong. You know, thank God you were wrong, because that would have been horrendous.
But I told her earlier today, I said, don't you think it's kind of funny that they haven't brought up anything in the fact that why are you living in a different state? How can you be possibly visiting your children and getting your children back when you're living in a different state? No, of course not, because they put her in the other state. But that's another red flag of what you were saying. They're going to keep her in that other state and not say anything about it because they're still going to probably end up using that against you.
Well, I think I'm going to tell you what I think is going to happen. And I hope I'm wrong again, because I honestly, when it comes to this stuff, I'd rather be wrong than right. Okay, because it's heartbreaking when I'm right. It's glorious when I'm wrong. I'm thinking that they are going to close your case soon, which is going to be a good thing, and give the children to the father. Now, when that happened to me, 6 months, well, actually 5 months after they closed the case and I got the letter in the mail, I filed for custody of my kids and I won.
I still think it's weird that they didn't place the kids with the father right off the bat, though, if now that's the road they're trying to go with.
I'm telling you, that's what's going to happen. I hope I'm wrong. Well, actually, I kind of hope I'm right on this one, because then it'd be easier to get your kids back with CPS reports out of it.
We have an open custody case in Florida.
Well, I guess we're going to have to see what happens. But in the meantime, don't ask for your kids back when you file this federal paperwork, because they're not going to get involved while the case is open. But they will address the constitutional issues. And there's quite a few.
Yeah, most definitely.
I still don't understand how they can still have custody.
Does that,
go ahead, Darren.
If she files federally, does that put everything on hold?
It might put it on hold because there's a constitutional problem there.
But the whole thing's an issue.
Right.
I still don't understand how they can have custody of her kids with no allegations on her at all.
But you already know why. Once they
no, but I mean technically,
they don't let go.
I think yeah, I guess it goes with the same thing as even if it was an allegation, it's always usually false anyway. So it doesn't matter if you have any or if you do, because they're usually false if you do. So yeah, I guess
Right, and then don't forget, once you're past that, they don't even care about what the allegations are. They're going by what you've done since then.
The modules,
so the allegations really mean nothing.
Yeah. That only means something in the very beginning when you have that first court date.
Take and get this emergency custody whatever paper. because they say I'm such a great bodily harm to my children, but yet I was seeing them for a whole month straight, every single day. You know what I mean? From 4 o'clock all the way to 10 o'clock at night, feeding them, bathing them, providing for them while they were with my sister and brother-in-law. If I was that great of harm, they shouldn't even let me allowed around my children. More or less, they should have took my kids, you know what I mean, into custody at the beginning, not a month later.
Well, and see, another thing that I've heard Mr. Davis say a lot in the past is something about no less restrictive alternatives, meaning if you have that option to, like, let's say, live with your kids, but have somebody else live there too, to be that, keeping the eyes at all times type of thing, that's an example of no less restrictive alternatives, meaning it prevents it from, I forget what I'm trying to say, but again, they never seek those kind of options because, again, they just want to take your kids and put them into foster care. But what's the situation going on with the grandma that's trying to adopt? Is she still trying to push forward with her attorney that's her niece or whatever you said is going on?
So the attorney was in court via Zoom. Normally they're both there in person, but that didn't happen this court hearing.
I know, but so what's their statute on this? Are they still trying to adopt your kid, the one kid that they have?
I mean, yeah, they definitely want to do that, but they didn't say anything really during the court hearing on Monday at all.
They didn't ask him anything about, kids being placed with father, or they didn't try and fight any of that?
They asked how.
I would have thought your grandma's attorney would have tried to fight it in some way, because, again, if the kids get placed with the father, then obviously they lose on their little vendetta. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. But she's the one that pressed the nail bed and the hair follicle.
That is her then fighting it. That's the way she's trying to fight it then. Get it?
Well, here's the case. It's Woolley versus City of Baton Rouge. And it says defendants, and this is against CPS, defendants could not lawfully seize a child without a warrant.
I know. But is it not an emergency custody order, not a warrant?
It has to be signed by the judge, like signed, not stamped, right?
I was never gave any of those documents. So this is what happened. I got home from work on my way to the daycare.
Listen, this is JB versus Washington County. The forced separation of a parent from a child, even for a short period of time, in this case was 18 hours, presents a serious infringement upon the rights of both the parent and the child.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm looking for intimate and exigent circumstances.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Deidre, you better be nice to me. I'm not coming back on your show no more.
No! I'm just trying to think I was helping you, but I couldn't even say the word.
I'm kidding. I'm acting like your little buddy that we were talking about earlier.
Yeah. Let's not bring that up. Anyways, wait, do you want her to go ahead and say, though, exactly how they did come and take the kids to prove that obviously they had no warrant and didn't show her one, or does it matter?
Doesn't matter. I don't care. They took those kids without a court order, without a removal order.
Yeah.
Because
they never showed you anything, right? Yeah. She's trying to give you the cases of it.
They said, hey, the kids have been taken into state custody, and they hung up on me. And so I called them back, and they never answered. So I called back, and they never answered for 3 days. And then I had a court hearing. But within those 3 days, I about hung myself. I was lost for words. I didn't know where my kids were. I didn't know how they were doing. Nothing.
Here's another one. Hearing. Children have a constitutional right to live with their parents without government interference. Yeah. It also goes on to say a child's 4-month separation from his parent could be challenged under substantive due process. That is Brohock versus Mercer County.
Okay, so she goes to court next month and she does these 2 classes and she does a hair follicle. Let's say hair follicle comes back dirty, for an example. Now what are they going to do?
Well, your hair follicle only goes back 3 months.
No, but I mean, I'm saying, what if it comes back dirty? What if it comes back clean? What are they trying to do in the next court date, you think, regardless of...
I just told you. What is I'm hoping that I'm kind of right and kind of wrong.
Oh, yeah, you did say it about their placing the kids with the father. Yeah.
Correct. And then CPS is out of there.
After 6 months. So what would that do for me?
The judge can close the case.
Huh?
The judge can give him custody and the case is closed.
So what am I going to do?
You're going to wait 5 months and you're going to go file for custody.
So what about in the meantime? Do I get to be around my children?
It's up to him if he gets full custody.
They can't stop you from seeing your kids. I don't give two. I got to watch what I say on her show because I wish we was on mine. I don't give a rat's patootie what the GAL says. Because let me tell you who the judge listens to. It's Child Protective Services.
Yeah.
So what she's trying to say is if they place the kids with the father and your case is closed, technically, it's not like they're saying, oh, we're ordering you not to be able to ever see your kids again. I mean, they're not terminating your rights. So technically, you still have your rights to your kids. So at that point, if your case is closed, no one's saying when and if you could see your kids. Technically, I guess the father has custody, but it's just between the father and her then, right?
Look here, man. Let me tell you. CPS came to me and was like, we're giving the kids to him, right? So I said, okay. And the case is closed? She said, yeah, then we're out of it. I said, where do you want me to sign? The minute I got that closure letter, 3 months later, because it took them 2 months to get me the damn letter. Sorry. After that, I went right down to the courthouse. I filed for custody of my kids and I won.
Because then it's in family court. It's not CPS. Wait, what'd you say?
I've been their sole provider since the day they were born.
Oh, they don't care.
I just gave you the remedy. I just gave you the remedy. I will help you. But right now I'm still looking for
I need your number because I could not get a hold of nobody before court.
Because remember, I don't have your cell phone number. I just contact you through Facebook. But remember, I sent you her phone number after the show last week.
Oh yeah, and then I got sick. I slept 22 hours.
No, yeah. So poor Brittany had walked. Brittany. Boom. Why did I bring that name up from earlier? Gabriella.
Stanley versus Illinois. The 14th Amendment guarantees that parents will not be separated from their children without due process of law except in emergencies.
These are all, you know what she's doing? She's giving you case law for basically examples of what has happened. And okay. By the way, Tiffany, she put her number in the private chat. Tiffany, Gabriella did.
Okay, let me see if I can get it. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna put it in
my phone. Okay, and then text her now so she has your number.
Well, I'm not texting her from this phone. It's my work phone.
Yeah, yes. Darren, give us some insight.
No, I think Tiffany's absolutely right. I think the easiest thing to do to get out of whatever you can do to get CPS out of your life, do it. Doesn't matter what it is. They're going to sign off and say that they're out of there. Do it. And then go fight that battle somewhere else. I think that's the route. I think Tiffany's absolutely right. Let them give CPS, give them to the father. Don't terminate her rights. Go fight them in court. I think that's it. That seems the most logical way here because none of this makes sense anyway.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I say, like Tiff says.
But remember, Gabriella just also said that she already has an open custody case technically going on concurrently. So
Yeah, but
if the father gets,
because I have the DHS case in Oklahoma that put the custody case on hold.
yeah. So
Well,
let's say the
right.
dad gets the kids placed with them, and your CPS case gets closed. Will that then automatically pick up the custody case where it left off? Then, Tiffany?
No,
Yeah, but
it will
I
automatically
had
close the
filed
custody
to
case.
dismiss.
Oh, it will close both then. Oh,
Right. But this is what happens. See, this is why we do this show, right? Because people really need to be educated. After
yes.
6 months, it becomes permanent. Before 6 months, it's temporary, right? So you always want to file before that 6 month hits, because the temporary order is easier to get in your favor versus waiting the 6 months, because now the judge doesn't want to move them because their school might be going on. They've lived there for a certain amount of time. You got to be very careful. This is time sensitive. From the day your case is closed, you have to wait for that letter and call them every day. You need that case closure letter. Once you get that, you go file, because both those cases are going to close simultaneously, because the judge is going to be like, well, CPS gave her then custody. This case is over until you file again. I'm telling you, that's what I did. I know it works because I did it. I never tell anybody to do something that I haven't already done.
Down notes.
What'd you say?
I'm writing down notes.
Oh, well, you can always rewatch this video over and over. You can watch this video over and over and over.
Okay, Mr. Davis, very good job.
Pay attention. Don't write notes, because you can rewatch this for eternity.
And you can subscribe to our channel, Tiff and the Punisher, and chat with us live, or come on our show too.
Yep.
Well, how do I get on that? Tiff the Punisher. Okay. On YouTube?
Yeah, just go to YouTube. Just go to YouTube and put CPS Punisher, or what is it? Tiff and the Punisher. Yeah. And then you'll see all of the other shows.
So go to YouTube. It's youtube.com/@abolish CPS. That's the channel.
Is that?
I can't see that. The cartoon picture.
Right. That'll bring you. Right. You'll see our channel, and we have all kinds of shows that are on. You'll see Tiff and the Punisher, though. It's the main show.
With a nice illustration cartoon.
Yeah.
I would be curious, Darren. I'd be curious to see what my cartoon illustration would look like of me.
I feel like you're putting me up to a challenge.
I don't know if I like the end result, because you made yourself and Tiffany look pretty good. I liked it.
Well, Deidre, like, we want to make you look good anyway. So I mean, anything else is just
okay.
Fly. I'm ready to go get plastic surgery done. Okay.
You want to look like the cartoon?
What's the point anymore after a certain age, right? Like you told me last week, I go, Tiffany, hold on.
You say she's old?
No, I'm trying to use Tiffany's words against her. I think it was last week. I was like, Tiffany, I need to get off the phone. I need to put some makeup on before the show. She goes, okay, let me tell you something. How old are you? And then I told her, and she goes, okay, well, I'm this old. After this age, you don't give a you know what.
Yeah, but it's different when there's a cartoon picture of you out there and it looks better than you do.
Y'all are too much, man. Y'all are too much.
You would understand if you saw the other shows. Oh man, that's funny.
Okay, so
what do you expect her to do between now and the next court date to keep her sanity? Because she did ask me that earlier today, and that's kind of a very serious topic. I'm not going to take that lightheartedly, because this does affect a lot of people's mental health, and they feel like at some points they're just can't go on another second. So being serious, what would you recommend her doing to help her feel like?
Monday had my court, and then I had my 1 hour Zoom, right? Because I only get 4 hours a month. So after that Zoom, I was just heartbroken. All day Tuesday, I was in bed. I slept all day up until 6 o'clock, and I would wake up in between and eat cake. But like, I just couldn't. And
Okay, listen to me. Listen to me. And I tell Darren's right on here. Don't let them win. Okay? They're winning. That's what they want you to do. Even though they're talking good about you, but they're sneaky. They're snakes.
Oh, yeah, I know.
You have to live your life. Like, go for walks. You have to enjoy this time. Once you do all this other BS that they want you to do, go to the movies. Live your life, okay? Because you have to keep your mind, body, and soul on the straight and narrow, right? Because if it doesn't, that's what happens. You sleep, you eat sugar, you get fat, you're depressed, and then one day when you're not depressed,
can't be there for your kids.
Whoa. It's okay to eat cake.
I'm
We can
medicated.
eat cake. You can eat your cake.
yeah, but
I ate the whole thing too.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. Why not? You deserve it. Don't listen to her.
I was
If you feel like you need to eat a whole cake, if you feel like you need to eat a whole cake to feel good, then you eat a whole freaking cake. That's what you do.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's just it.
Fried chicken.
Period. Whatever you can do to get a smile out of yourself, that's what you do. Doesn't matter.
By the way,
whatever. Get a smile out of yourself. Eat a cake. Eat a chicken leg in your bed. Sleep on the crumbs. Whatever it takes for you to smile and laugh like you are right now, that's what you got to do to get through.
Speaking on that note, Tiffany and Darren, I speak about this person so much, but I kid you not. His Netflix special is about to come out. Once it comes out, you guys will all remember me saying this. Everybody will know who he is. Go to YouTube and put in Nate Jackson. I tell you, and I know you didn't watch him, Tiffany, because you would have said something to me because that's how funny he is. This man, he does what?
I went right to bed.
I knew you did. Okay, so do yourself a favor, everybody, because seriously, this is what also helps me with laughing and comedy in general. He does something what they call crowd work. So basically, he's got arenas and everything filled with people. He just did a whole like tour in like Europe, Germany, Amsterdam, Sweden, and he's all known over there too, apparently. But basically, he works with whatever is in front of him, and he gives like 3 simple rules. You know, if I make eye contact with you and you look away, okay, I won't attack you. But if you make eye contact with me and I start in on you and you're not liking how it's going, turning your eyes away ain't going to help you. You've already given me permission, you know? And then number 3 is basically, and for everybody else in here, don't basically ruin it. Like, oh, you've gone too far. Or, oh, you know, no, you all came here for this. You all want this. So once I go, I go. And oh my gosh, the stuff that he says, and it's all just literally right on the top of his tongue because it's what's in front of him, you know? And man, I mean, I met him in person not too long ago because I went to his show when he was in Ontario and California here. And he is so humble too. I mean, literally, I text him and he texts me back. And I still tell my husband to this day, oh, look, he texted me back. And, you know, my kids even joke like, oh, Mom's got a boyfriend. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys, because they think, oh, it's a guy and stuff. But then even my husband's like, oh, there you go, game with Nate Jackson. But the second I turn it on, he's laughing just as much as me, you know, because he's just that, he really is that funny. I mean, the stuff that he says, you would just be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe he went there and he's still going there and he's not stopping. And he's still, I mean, all the way from like what people would say is handicaps and all this, you know, people in wheelchairs and stuff. But man, they're laughing just as hard because that's what they come for. That's what they came for, you know. But really, what Tiffany and Darren were saying, you know, you have to find some kind of, you know, light in such a dark spot. And really, you know, laughing is, I feel like, the medicine to any kind of negativity. And, you know, it just brings you back to kind of feeling like a little bit of, I still got it in me because, again, you know, you're laughing and you're kind of forgetting about things for a minute or two. But, you know, it just gives you that burst of like, okay, you know, I can snap back out of it in a way. So, you know, again, it's YouTube, it's free, you know, you could watch it at any time. He's always coming out with new stuff, you know, but everybody out there. And Nate, if you're listening, maybe this will, you know, kudos to me for promoting you. No, kidding.
So I have my days where I'm like, I can't do this anymore. I just can't do it. So then I listen to some songs, okay? And
That's good too.
it pumps me up. So one
The
of them
Darren
is
songs for you guys. Yes. No, I think it's the one with you guys.
I'm a survivor. We're not going to take it anymore.
Yeah.
I'm a warrior. I have a whole
What about
list,
the song? The song
That
for your
Girl's
show,
on
Tiff and the
Fire.
Punisher.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
Tiff
this
and the
is on
Punisher
YouTube.
song.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
I
this
listen
one
to
is
all
too.
kinds of music. Darren, don't you say one word to me, because I already told you the windows are coming down soon. It's 40 degrees here. Anyway, find some songs that give you the energy, right? And because I'm telling you, I've been doing this for so long that some days I'm like, I just can't do this anymore. This is just it. Some days I feel like we're not making any progress, and I hear these songs, and I'm like, yeah, we're kicking it, right? I dance around my living room. My husband, I told him, I said, I feel so bad for you because he's got a band, right? And I said, I know I can't sing because you got some good singers, but you're just going to have to deal with it if you're in the living room. I will dance around my living room thinking I'm an American Idol.
There you go. Jumping on the couch.
Have fun. Oh, girls just want to have fun. Oh, what?
What?
Music and laughter. I'm telling you.
Mm-hmm. Well, and your faith, if you have any kind of, belief in a higher power. I'm not trying to bring in religion for that matter, but, the faith and the fact that I feel like there's a God out there and he will hopefully do you right in the end, especially when it comes to your children, because, you are blessed with these children for a reason. God gave you these children, not anybody else. And I truly believe that at the end of the day, the people that were involved with the removal and the keeping of your kids, will, seek their day when that day comes. But in the meantime, they are your children and they were given to be your children for a reason. So never give up on them and never give up on yourself. So, the stronger you can make yourself as a whole with all these kind of examples of music and laughter and whatnot, it will just better you in trying to be there for you. Well, yeah, no, that's good. Because don't forget, imagine how hard we have it as parents, but we will never truly know how hard it is from our kids' own eyes, meaning they are kids having to be placed in these stranger homes and not knowing when they're going to see us again or if they're going to see us again. I mean, I just can't even imagine as a kid, like
right there.
Yeah. So again, every time like you're feeling so down, I mean, that's another way to, of course, it's the obvious to look at it, but you have to be there in order to fight for your kids. Because again, they're relying on us, they can't obviously fight this themselves, but anyways, me just ranting. So,
well, no, that was something I was going to say.
Yeah.
You got to keep the faith. You got to pray. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what I do, Darren, Deidre. It doesn't matter what your lawyers do. It's in God's hands. And let me tell you something. God has a plan. Whether you like it or not, there's a reason in a season, and karma will. I believe in karma so much. That's why I treat people so good, because let me tell you, when you do cruddy things to people, you pay with it with your life.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I truly believe the same thing. And that's why sometimes me and my husband always get into petty arguments because, for instance, my mom has my two older kids, and sometimes, he gets so frustrated because he hears how she just runs us over because again, she's kind of the one, that has the power the way I see it. And he's like, why don't you speak up on her? Like, why don't you like stand up for yourself? Or why don't you put her? And I'm like, because I already know, number one, it's not going to get me anywhere right now. Number two, if anything, it's just going to be then worse for the kids because she then is going to take it all out on them even more. And again, it's not solving anything. Yeah, you might think that, I, spoke up on her one day or something. And yeah, it made me feel good. But in reality, I'm already looking through the aftermath of it. And back when my case was open, I could have gotten so many things that my mom did and still does, like looked at, but then I would immediately think, well, then what's going to happen to the kids? Well, then they're just going to take them from my mom's and then probably put them in a foster home. And then that will be even worse for my kids. So it's like, pick your battles. You know what I mean? And again, it's like, I don't know why I started ranting on that, but it's just more or less the fact that, you got to keep your head on strong, and you got to keep focused on your goal of getting your kids home and how fast can I do it, and the shortest, whatever. So we have about 10 minutes left, and I know I keep saying, what can she do?
Something as far as the thing that you had read where kids cannot be away for more than 4 months?
I'm gonna send it to you in a text message.
Okay, cool.
I'm gonna send you the whole thing. But if you print it, it's like 76 pages.
No, I got a laptop and I got another computer.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna send it to you after the show.
Nice.
I don't know what I was going to say. Anyways, I guess, does she just go forward with doing?
She's driving the whole time.
I know. Well, at least he showed up today, Punisher.
Yeah, that was not my fault. It was my fault last time. I do apologize for my narcolepsy got the best of me. So, but tonight, here I am in full flesh and body.
Not really, because all we see is a white circle.
Yeah.
Well, if the camera was on, all you see is a white circle too. So I don't know what the difference is.
Oh. Well, we don't see you in the flesh. We don't see your body in front of us.
But you know what? At 10 o'clock tonight, if you come onto our channel, you'll see me in the flesh, because we have CPS Victims Hunting Justice on tonight at 10:30. So make sure you check us out there.
Gabriella said she wants to be a guest on one of your shows. So, yeah.
Come on in. You want to join us tonight, Gabriella? You can join us tonight if you like.
Tomorrow.
No,
well, tonight they're saying.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah, we got family night tomorrow.
So everybody that's watching her show should come on over to Tiff and the Punisher, because I'm having my dad on.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be a good show. Her dad was an ex-cop for how many years? Many years, right?
Forever. He's a retired police officer. I don't know what's going to come out of his mouth, but you'll see why I am the way I am. And Darren was like, I can't wait.
I know, I'm excited.
So everybody out there watching this show, again, I do this on Wednesdays at 5 p.m. Pacific time under Vince Davis. He is a CPS trial juvenile dependency lawyer here in Southern California.
No.
And
he is the leading nation's best CPS lawyer. Let's not sugarcoat him. He is the best in this country as far as fighting CPS. Every time that people spend on him is worth it. He's not a cheap lawyer, and he shouldn't be for what he does. So he's not your average show CPS guy. So
and he also, just a quick insight. Yeah, quick insight to Mr. Davis. He as a child was pretty much raised by his paternal grandparents, and basically separated from his own biological mother that had moved to Japan, and he never really saw her again until I think he was 21 or something. So he feels for not only the missing of a mom relationship, but he sees it from the grandparents' point of view and all of that. So again, he is also speaking from experience of his childhood in a way as well. So the more heart that's in it is even better in that aspect, because he can feel for what a lot of us parents, grandparents, relatives are going through in these types of situations. But again, I do the show every Wednesday. If you want to be a guest, call in the number at the bottom right hand corner of the screen, and my producer will get you scheduled. Also, my two co-hosts that keep being so kind to join me on their field trips do their own shows, and you can find them on YouTube as well. But again, we all come together for one cause, and that is to keep families together, not let CPS win and separating kids. And the more people that we can let know about this corruption, hopefully the better. And one day maybe it will be, ended and come to a stop. So like Darren likes to always say, which I think is cool. Any last words from you, Darren, Tiffany, or Gabriella before we end the show?
No, thank you for having me.
Okay, well, let us know updated too. Yeah.
Yes.
We'll bring you on. I'm going to text you in a few minutes, but we're going to bring you on next week. And Darren, when we get off this, I need to talk to you, so I'm going to call you.
Oh, Darren's in trouble.
Okay.
No,
you're in trouble.
No, but just remember, everybody, go get The Constitution and the Bill of Rights. This is where the
Yeah.
laws are.
Yep.
Make sure you eat as much cake as you need to so you can get a smile too.
That part.
Because if you're smiling and laughing, you're not dying. So that's what you need to
There
And
you
Nate
go.
Jackson. Nate Jackson. You'll all thank
Nate
me
Jackson.
later.
Oh yeah.
You'll be addicted.
My buddy that I'm riding with right now is telling me he's like, Nate Jackson's a freaking riot. So
He
I'll check him
is.
out tonight.
You will be so addicted. It really will be. Okay, guys. Thank you, everyone. And
Bye, guys.
okay, we'll see you next week. Bye, everyone. Thank you,
Grace,
guys.
hit the music.
Yeah, if you give her some, Darren. Bye.
Have a good night, guys.